chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets.
Matto, did you watch the Heat game on, I think it was Saturday night? Bernie was walking on them stilts at like halftime. They kept showing him fall over.
I did. Look, I get the idea of a mascot, but why you got to put him on stilts? It's not hard enough to be like a big stuffed animal.
Why do you have to put him on stilts? Because stilts are fucking hilarious. That's why. Stilts are funny. Stilts are great. And I'm just something else about stilts. I feel like Bryce Young needs those stilts behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh God, he needs something. He needs like some shoes with some heighteners in it, like maybe stilettos or something that'll give him a little more height. You know,
my boy needs to drop back wearing the Air Force One elevates.
Oh hell yeah, he does. He'll look good too. He'll look good. He'll look clean wearing them. I'm trying to think what else Bryce Young needs. He probably needs some more arm talent also. I think that would be really helpful.
I feel like his arm's strong enough. It's definitely accurate enough. His decision making's probably fine. He's just so small. He's just so small.
You think if he was 4 inches tall? How tall is CJ Stroud?
I think he's like 5'11" according to the thing, but he's not. I think that if you are the size of Bryce Young, in order to be a successful NFL quarterback, you have to be the most athletic person on the field, like Kyler Murray, right? You have to be faster and quicker than everybody else around you. They have to be trying to tackle you and just grabbing air, and he is very much not that, right? He's a pocket passer. And I don't think you can be a pocket passer at 5'11", 165.
He's 5'10" according to the internet. So let's assume he's 5'9". We're not height shaming. God bless the short kings, all that shit. But that shit may not be tall enough, right? Remember, what was Drew Brees? Drew Brees was often considered 6 foot tall. That's, I think, when you have 6'8" monsters blocking in front of you, every inch matters. And
do you remember watching 6 foot or 6'1" Drew Brees like look over the line like?
I mean, he never got shit batted down though. That was the remarkable thing about. Maybe he did get him batted down.
He got some, not as many as Ryan Tannehill, who's a little taller than him, but Drew Brees. I mean, I'm going to try and say this more for people listening than people watching because we just both did the same thing. But like, he would tilt his head back and get on his tippy toes, and then like be looking down his nose while his head was tilted back to look over the line. And it's just like the most classic Drew Brees picture I could think of while he was with the Saints, of trying to see over those giant guards who were blocking for him and then just throw a fucking bullet right between. I mean, Drew Brees was successful, let's be honest, because he's more accurate than Olympic archers.
Oh no, he's super accurate. He and if you need help with the pose, think about like when you see meerkats on the African savannah, they pop up and they stand up all tall, looking around, making sure they're not attacked.
Exactly. That's so good.
That was Drew Brees because your boy needs to heighten. He needs to heighten. He needs some of that Glennon neck. He needs like a Glennon neck.
Dude, if he had a Glennon neck, he would be like an average NFL quarterback if he just had some Glennon neck.
He needs to get the Glennon neck transfusion, or I don't even know, neck lengthening surgery.
If he just had like 1/10 of Bull's legs.
Well, does he still play in the NBA, or did he just die from being
hurt? But he was hurt most of last season. I think he's going to play this year. Was he on the Magic or something? Where was he?
Remember. I think we're learning that these guys, they coming out. Sorry, this would be a quick NBA. Like Chet Holmgren and all these guys are super tall and super lanky, and they make for great players. But you can't live like that. You can't fall to the ground, and I feel like it's going to be short lived.
I'm not selling on Chet Holmgren, buddy. I'm not selling on Holmgren.
I don't know. I feel like he's an injury waiting to happen. I remember Yao Ming hurting his foot, and everyone was like devastated because he just couldn't bounce back. And I feel like these guys are in worse shape than Yao Ming, as far as like not worse shape, but like not as thick in the trunk. You know what I mean?
I mean, I hear you, but I feel like Holmgren's going to come back from this injury. I feel like medicine's better now. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, that is Aaron Rodgers lying? Did he not actually burst his Achilles?
Are we talking about the Levitard show thing? Like, yeah. All right. So, yes. Okay. The theory is that Aaron Rodgers did not actually hurt himself, and this was all a sham so that he could prove that he's better than medicine, right? That's the That's the theory they were jokingly espousing, right?
Conspiracy, I think, is probably the better word than the theory. I don't think there's anything.
The conspiracy they were jokingly talking about, right? But like we all like, there's video of the muscle snapping, so like I don't think. I mean, Billy, even listening to the show, Billy kept saying, but he had to have been wearing a prosthetic,
Yeah, I
a
think he
prosthetic
says
muscle. Nobody would do that.
people get shot on TV all the time and they don't die, right? And if you think about sitcoms and stuff, so look, he may be a medical marvel. He may be, or things weren't as bad, and he's trying to hype up his image, right? He's trying to do that superhero shit a little bit.
So
I think I don't think it was as bad as originally intended. Now, is
look,
it like a fake Achilles? Come on now.
a doctor came out and said it was whatever, a grade 1, and you can't come back with a grade 1 in less than whatever, whatever it is. 12 months is the lowest anybody's ever come back from. But let's say a doctor came out and said it was a grade 1 and it was really a grade 2 or a grade 3, and he's coming back in slightly faster than that, but he's telling everybody it was a grade 1, and it's like 3 months faster to come back from a grade 2 or a grade 3 or whatever it is, but he's exaggerating what the injury was in the first place. That might be something that's going on a little bit.
Believable.
It's a little more believable than he didn't actually hurt himself and he just like wanted to do ayahuasca in his dark tank or
But
whatever.
maybe he did just want to do ayahuasca. He's like, yeah, it hurts real bad. I need some
mean,
darkness.
I remember when I did drugs the first time, I wanted to do them a lot more for a little while. I mean, that was like sophomore and junior year of college.
That's the cool thing about drugs. I shouldn't say that on YouTube. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Well, that's Danny. I'm Matt. We're going to do cover 2 tonight, just the two of us. We're going to break down the NFL week, but this is ChuggieBets. Cheers. Now, I don't have my normal light beer. I only have this 22-ounce 9% beer, so we're going to see how this goes. So last
Matto,
week,
would you like a Busch Light? Because I got a couple here for you. Boom.
What I would love a Busch Light right now. Let's talk about last week. What do you say? So last week the boys did good. We had a 24-16 week in the NFL. I think I did best. Wow, good. Look at me. 5-1, and I won my Chuggy bet.
Look at you, like you didn't know that going into this conversation.
Al 5-2, won his Chuggy bet. Andy went 8-7 because the Jets did not get that teaser. Danny went 3-3, won his Chuggy bet, and then Sunshine went 3-4. Pretty good week for the boys. We made some money.
That 3-3 included that Jets under that I hit, right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. I think I made 6 picks. I don't usually go more than that. So
yeah. So 24-16. That's pretty good. That's a 60% winning rate. You're welcome. Buy a house. Buy a house on us. What do you say? We got more winners this week. Danny and I will run the 2-man weave. But before that, we've got to introduce you to our new segment. We have a new game show for everyone listening at home. I hope you guys are excited. Welcome to an episode of Are They Good?
Hold on, before we get to Are They Good, before this game actually ends, I want to say this while we're recording. Take the fucking under.
Yeah, under Thursday night under always and forever.
We should have came out earlier, but you guys should already know. Matt and I are going to tell you to do that.
Under 40.5. Back to Are They Good? Today's game show is we're going to talk about people with NFL teams that have kind of good or good records, and we're going to discuss if they're actually good or are they not good. So, Danny, the Los Angeles Chargers, are they good?
The Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, this is a tough one because like their quarterbacks between the Chargers and the Dolphins are just so intertwined, right? And we want to say that Tua is the better quarterback, but Herbert like has the more arm talent and the height, stuff like that. But Tua's clearly had a better career thus far. No, I'm going to say the Chargers are good. I think their defense is weak.
I think their defense is weak too. I think they're getting better. I think they started off really poorly, and I think they're going to progress back to what we expected before the season. So, yeah, I'm with you. They're good.
I think if the Chargers have a healthy Austin Eckler and a healthy Keenan Allen, they can compete for the AFC.
Yeah, I agree. Danny, the Steelers, are they good?
Ugh. This one's hard because like the answer is no. I'm saying no,
I
the Steelers
agree.
aren't good, but Mike Tomlin's there, so like I mean they're what 5-3, 6-3 or something. Like they keep winning games, and Kenny Pickett
Stinks.
doesn't seem to be it.
Stinks. The
Uh,
whole offense stinks. They need to throw that whole thing out. Their defense, I mean, TJ Watt, everyone loves TJ Watt, and he's really good. And they always have like a couple D linemen that are pretty good, but I don't think they're a good team. I wonder how many wins Tomlin accounts for, right? It's stupid to say he's
right
worth
now
it.
it seems like 7.
It really does, right? Because I don't think that team's very good, but by God, they're going to be in the playoffs. You know they are. You know they're going to be in the playoffs.
I think he always builds his team around having a solid front 7 on defense, right? And then leaders in the secondary, right? Or ball hawks in the secondary, not necessarily like great. He cares more about turnovers than coverage in the secondary. That's why he had guys like Palomalu, and that's why he traded for a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
But on offense, he really cares about just one thing: offensive line. That's it. He's like, I'll figure everything else out. The receivers will let them go once once they need a big contract, we'll trade them. The running backs will let them go when they want a big contract. We'll let them hold out. It doesn't matter. We can just rotate them in. But he only cares about offensive line, and maybe that's a philosophy that just is
It
what
works,
works.
proven in the NFL. It's probably an old school philosophy. I think the NFL is moving away from that, but God damn it. It keeps
Well, the
winning.
NFL might be moving away from his philosophies as far as like his offensive philosophy of like run first.
Yeah.
Because even with Big Ben, they were a run first team the whole time. But I don't think they're moving away from the philosophy of you have to win in the trenches, because pass rush is more valuable than it's ever been, and stopping the pass rush is more valuable than it's ever been.
You're right. You're right.
But I do think the running game is moving more to an outside run game than it is an inside run game in the NFL today. Which, like, you could see with the Dolphins, where like Mostert is like dominating on the
Off
outside.
tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in the what do they? The Mike Shanahan used to like have everybody run for 2,000 yards or 1,500 yards doing this. The stretch play. They would like everybody kind of moves while they run, and then they open up space once they get outside the numbers. But
Yeah. So I don't think Pittsburgh is good. I think Mike Tomlin is good. That's where I've ended up there.
I'm with you, man. We talked way too long on that one, but
No,
go
it's
on.
great. That's good NFL analysis. Wait a second. Drink a beer. Danny, the Saints, are they good?
Nah.
I don't think so either. They stink. That whole
Um,
division stinks. Bad.
I think the Saints have a unit that could be a playoff unit in their defense, right? But you know how I love eyeliner, but I just don't think he's clicking with that offense. I mean, if they can't get Kamara to score fantasy points, then uh, I just don't think that like that team's going to do very well.
Yeah, I don't see it. Today, who makes the playoffs from the NFC South?
Ooh.
In your mind,
Um. What are my options here? Let me just.
Saints, Bucks. It's not. It's not the Panthers. Saints, Bucks, or Falcons.
I gotta go. The Bucks only have 3 wins right now. I mean, can none of them make it?
No, unfortunately, that is not the
I
option.
think I'm gonna go Falcons because I just feel like Heineke's gonna like the Green Lizard's gonna make shit happen.
He does. He does. You know he does. We'll get to him in a second. One more. Are they good for the road? Here we go. The Washington Commanders. Are they good?
Who? Well, I think Howell's good. That's for sure, or not for sure, but I think that he's not C.J. Stroud good, but I think Howell is an NFL quarterback. He's a starting NFL quarterback for a long time. I think that he's. Let me put it this way: I think he's better than Baker Mayfield, and I think Baker Mayfield's like number 30 when it comes to starting in the NFL. So I think that is something that they have. Uh, but and they have a good defense. So if you have a quarterback and a good defense, I mean, You should
They
be
got some
good, but they
playmakers too, man. Dotson's good. Robinson's been good. They have skill.
what's the
There's
guy
some-
with an M?
Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin, yeah. Yeah, they got some players, but why do they keep losing? I mean, I think they're just in too hard of a division.
That is it, buddy. I think if you put them in the NFC South, they're 10-7 or 11-6 come the end of the year. They unfortunately have to be in a division with the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, who are both on heaters right now. Well, Philadelphia's on a heater. Dallas is whatever. Dallas does what Dallas does.
I mean, Dallas has 3 losses, and one of them is a Philly. I mean, granted, one of them's to Arizona, which was a fluke, and I forget who their other loss was to, but
Dallas is the most up and down team. They'll beat a team by 30 and lose to Arizona. I was like, I don't know how to handicap them. The Philadelphia game.
Josh Dobbs will do things, man. Dobbs will do things.
Let's talk about Josh Dobbs, and let's talk about last week's wild witching hour. If you guys aren't red zone people, come on now, grow up. But in the witching hour, we had two amazing quarterback matchups going down to the wire, and they're not the ones you would have expected. We had Stroud versus Mayfield, Houston versus Tampa Bay. This game had 14 points, 17 points in the last 3 minutes. Stroud leads a drive to win the game with 20 seconds, 15 seconds left.
Wait, couldn't have been 17. That implies there was a kicker.
I think oh, yeah, Houston didn't have a kicker. No, that guy kicked it. He made a field goal.
That's right. That's right.
He did. He made
the running back kicked the field goal.
Yeah. That's hilarious to me.
Linebacker, whatever he was.
I think he's a running back.
He's a running back?
I don't remember his last name, but Stroud threw for 450 and 4 touchdowns. If you're the Panthers right now, how mad are you? Are you just pissed? You just look in the mirror, you're just shamefully I could have had that. And
Everybody knew. Everybody knew except you.
No, I agree. I love Stroud. I was a Stroud fan coming out. I just can't believe. Oh, you mean the Carolina? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about you. Everybody knew except Carolina.
I knew. But Mayfield was also awesome. He threw the late bomb to Evans on the outside, the 70-yard touch, brought it all the way down the 1-yard line. And then he led a drive with a minute and a half left to score.
CJ Stroud had 30 seconds, and he was dropping dimes into Tank something's ear hole that he couldn't have dropped if he tried.
Tank Dell?
Sure. Tank McIntosh. I don't know. Something like that.
I'm asking that as a question.
His name was Tank, and the ball literally fell in a way that if he tried to drop it, it was just stuck inside his jersey. It was
Tank Dell feels like a guy in 3 years from now that he will be the number 1 waiver wire pick in your fantasy league on week 9 every year, right? And you're just gonna be everyone's so hurt, but Tank Dell's still around, and he's gonna always be Tank Dell. There's who else is Damian Pierce is like that? Damian Pierce is still available. He'll get you 6 points.
This was a Will Fuller. He was a Will Fuller back
That's
in
a
the
good
day.
one. So the Houston Texans just do that, huh? That's just them.
Yeah.
But the other game, and this was I thought this was even more impressive. Josh Dobbs gets traded out of Arizona for an ice cream sandwich and $12, and he goes to Minnesota.
Slightly more than they paid for him. They paid an ice cream sandwich and $6. So
it was a come up. And Taylor Heineke on the other side. Oh, so let's talk about the Josh Dobbs thing. He doesn't start the game. Jaron Reed, I believe, starts the game. He dies trying to run the ball in from the 1-yard line.
He did everything he could.
That's not
the man tried. The man tried.
The NFL's brutal. It's a tough game. It's not a weak man's game. So he tries to get into the end zone. He dies. Dobbs has he's just making up plays. He's doing that thing when you used to play in the playground where you're okay, you're going to go up here and do that. You're going to go up here.
Did you see the clip? Because he was literally on the sideline taking snaps from the center, and the whole offense was around listening because that was the first time they had ever heard his snap count. That's how new he was to the team. He was in the huddle, and they would call a play, and he would repeat the play to everyone, and then he would ask the other guys, "So what's everybody doing?"
Yeah, what are we doing on this play? It's just 4 Hail Marys, 4 verticals. He just plays Madden. You're just verticals, go.
Well, no, the play was called. Everybody else knew what was happening, but he'd be okay, so what's the route combination on the left? But what's going on over here? And he that was very, and you could totally see by the way he was playing, he would be like looking one way, but he didn't have his third or fourth read, so he ran more than he normally would, which actually worked out very well for him because he's a very good runner.
He is. He's a good player. I think I heard something since week 15 of last year. He's been on 5 different teams. Something like impossible.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm happy for Josh Dobbs. I'm happy, but he played in a great game versus Taylor Heineke, which we all know Desmond Ridder ain't it. I think we're all safe to say Desmond Ridder ain't it. I think it's
Yeah, it seems that way. He was really good at Cincinnati. I liked the pick when Atlanta picked him, but I didn't like it as like a we're banking our future on you. I liked it more as a hey, let's see if this works out pick, and it seems like they banked their future on it. But they got Heineke, so I guess
they'll probably have a good draft pick too coming up here. There's some quarterbacks coming out that look like pretty big game changers that they may be able to attain. Why aren't they using Bijan Robinson? Can anyone answer me?
He keeps fumbling.
Oh, got it. I don't watch.
So like last game, they were using him in the fourth quarter, and they were going down the field, and then he like fumbled the ball. It wasn't a turnover; it like went out of bounds, or they recovered it, or whatever. It didn't even count as a fumble in his stat sheet. But then they brought in what's the other guy's name? Algier, and he's actually pretty good. And then he like got him all the way down to the end zone, and they scored. So like, why would they have gone back to Bijan when he was doing very well and didn't fumble? So
at the end of the day, the witching hour was amazing, and it was because of Minnesota, Atlanta, Houston, and Tampa Bay.
I know you hear Dobbs and you think Arizona, but no.
I do. God, isn't the NFL the best? Those 4 teams that don't have big national markets, and I was glued to the screen as the action was coming in. It was the best. Before we get into the picks, Dano, I do want to talk about something that's good for all the men that are on this podcast. Did you guys see the new candidate for the sexiest man alive?
I did.
Yeah.
It's a comeuppance for chubby, bearded men with children.
Let's raise a glass for that. Jason Kelce, not his brother, not Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Not pass catchers, blockers. Cheers.
He is in the running for the sexiest man alive. Look, the dude looks good. I'm not going to hate on him for that. And I'm not hating on his size. He's just not what you traditionally call the sexiest man alive. Is this a come up for the big guys, or you think they're just everyone's trying to get some Taylor Swift like sizzle next to her? Like,
no, honestly, I think that this is just a like it's just People Magazine kind of like pivoting to the other side of sexy, right? It's sort of like I think Ashley Graham's been on this list at some point for women, and it's kind of the other side of sexy, where people find different things attractive, and a lot of women find men like him attractive.
For what it's worth, I think he's more attractive than his brother. I don't think his brother.
When his brother wears the mustache, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general. I get it. I love him.
When Travis has the mustache and the buzz cut, he looks like Farva. Did you see that meme going around? Because he looks just like Farva. It is classic. Not that Farva's a bad looking guy. Just looks like a cop.
I'm just happy. I'm happy. We're living in a time where Jason Kelce makes the sexiest man alive, and we've made it, baby. We've made it.
You know what? Fat bearded dads have most of the kids in this world. So who do women find sexy?
True. It must work, right? It must work. Dad bod's a real thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's make some picks, buddy. Thursday night, we're going under, right? Under 40.5 for sure.
We already went under, and I haven't seen the most recent score, but it looked like it was hitting when we started.
Al took plus 3.5. We're playing in reverse this Thursday night. The game is going on now. We are sorry we didn't get this out earlier. We got a lot going on, but we
got daylight savings. Change the law.
Oh, serious. There's the easiest solution of all time.
Oh no.
Am
I leaving? My internet's crapping out.
Oh no, am I here? My internet looks good. I'm going to split the difference here. This is how you fix daylight savings. 30 minutes. We just make it 30 minutes and then we keep it there. Then everyone's happy.
Shit.
Danny, I hear you. Can you hear me? I have a network connection of 10 out of 10. My name is Andy tonight, by the way. So let's go to Indianapolis, New England, really quick. I'll run a one-man show for a little bit. New England is the game's in Germany and Frankfurt. It's going to be a fun game. The German game the first time was a little bit fun. Al is on the Patriots +1.5, and Andy's on the Colts -1. So we do have a little bit of disagreement there, but something that Andy and I both agree on: take the under. Under 43.5 is going to be the play that you're going to want to do there. These German games seem to have gone under. These teams aren't particularly proficient on offense, especially without Anthony AR manning the back line. I do love Gardner Minshew. Don't get it twisted, but he ain't got it enough. Let's go Houston, Cincinnati. We've got Houston +6.5 and +7 from Andy and Al. Cincinnati played a great game against Buffalo. They do look legit. Joe Burrow, hey, heads up, everyone. Joe Burrow's really good when he is healthy, and he's really not as good when he is not healthy. So I don't think there's a big deal there. Like, I think we learned that Joe Burrow is good, but I think we also learned CJ Stroud may be the truth. May be the truth. Welcome back, Dano. I was doing.
Oh yeah, sorry, we had some technical difficulties there, but yes, CJ Stroud seems to be the best young quarterback in the NFL right now. But Burrow, when he's healthy, I agree. Maybe the best quarterback in the world.
Yep. Let's go to New Orleans, Minnesota. Al is laying 2.5 there on New Orleans. I guess he's not buying the Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs, which I love that nickname, as the Pastronaut makes me laugh. I don't know if you have thoughts on this one, Dano.
My thoughts are that Al is wrong. My battery's running out. Sorry, I'm fucking up bad right now.
It's okay, buddy. So we got Green Bay and Pittsburgh. A bunch of us have plays on this game. Like we said, is Pittsburgh good? I don't know. I don't know how many wins you can give Mike Tomlin as far as the added value, but I do think this is a situation where Green Bay, Jordan Love has not looked great. I'm going to lay 3 with Pittsburgh, especially at home, and Al is joining me on that. I know Andy is fighting us. He is taking the points with Green Bay. I just don't see anything that makes me confident in Green Bay being competent enough on the road, even against a bad Pittsburgh team. But going into Pittsburgh, I don't think it's enough. But Andy probably believes their value. This line is too close because of Green Bay's last performance.
I agree with everything you said. I also like your pick because of Steelers or Tomlin at home.
That's it. That's all. That really is it. If it was 3.5, I would have stayed the hell away. But laying 3,
also, it's a combination between that and Jordan Love on the road.
Yeah, it seems
I
like
just don't think. I don't think he has it.
It seems like an underplay, honestly. I don't even know what the number is, but if it's over 38, I'd go under.
Speaking of underplays,
yeah, we got Tennessee going into Tampa Bay. A little shine off the Will Levis bus a bit from last week, and Tampa Bay does have a pretty good defense, but all that said, I think I'm taking the under 39 here. It seems like one of my favorite plays of the week. Hit the under 39. I don't expect 40 points in this game. Dano?
Right there with you, man. Under 39. Both of these offenses are struggling a little bit, even with Baker Mayfield's heroics in that last game where they lost. That's not this offensive strategy to have to go down the field at the end of the game to score a bunch of points a couple of times. No, they're ball control and defensive team, and that's the way they're going to win games. And I cannot remember Tennessee's coach's name right now, but I know he wants to cut his dick off.
I don't have it. I have dick off. Let me see.
I know he caught touchdowns in New England and all that, but anyway, he is I know the type of coach he is, which is a ball control. That's one of the reasons. Vrabel, there we go, Vrabel. A linebacker that played tight end sometimes. He's a ball control type of coach that wants to win on the defensive side of the ball. It's one of the reasons he let A.J. Brown go, right? Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't really care about having one of the best offensive weapons you can have in football. So he wants to keep the big running back, and he wants to do the ball control thing, which leads me to think under.
Yeah, Al's leaning plus 1.5, but to Danny's point, both teams pride themselves and they're better on the defensive side of the ball. And they're better than their opponent's offense on that side of the ball as well. So just lean the under here.
Yeah, Al was leaning plus 1.5. I don't like that because Tampa Bay's at home. I think that they're more likely to win the game by a field goal or more. But the under is the better play here by a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Sneaky good game at 1:00. San Francisco going into Jacksonville. Jacksonville's been on a fucking heater, a Duval heater. 49ers are coming in. Al is laying 3 with San Francisco. San Francisco, the last couple games hasn't been particularly great. I know Brock Purdy got hurt, and the offense doesn't look the same. Danny, you have thoughts here?
San Francisco has been fine this season, like as far as our standard for them. They did just trade for the pass rusher from Washington. I'm not pulling his name out of my ass right now, but
What? Montez Sweat?
no.
I think Montez Sweat. I think that's what you're thinking.
Okay. But yeah, they just got a really good defensive lineman for basically nothing.
Oh no, you're thinking Chase Young.
There it is.
Yeah, sorry, I got it mixed up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll help. But honestly, I would go Jacksonville at home here. It's a long trip, and I tend to go with the team that's not taking the long trip.
West Coast teams traveling east playing at 1:00 is always weird. Those
It
games
is.
always get
It's a
little
different
stressful.
time and it's different time zone. It's always a good bet.
That's how geography works. We got Cleveland going into Baltimore. We got no picks. So let's take it to 4:00. We got Atlanta going to Arizona, and we have Kyler Murray's day-to-day. He's active again. So thank God. Clayton Tune, loved you in Houston, bud. You're not ready for it yet. Last week was a catastrophe. So both. Oh, Danny, lead us off here, buddy.
I have no idea why I decided to take Cardinals. Oh, because I thought Kyler Murray was going to play, so I took the Cardinals plus 1.5.
Yeah, Al's with you.
Yeah, that was a bet on before he was announced. I thought Kyler Murray was going to play this game, so I bet it. If he doesn't, then I hate this.
Yeah. Then the line will move to plus 4.5 for sure, very quickly. But yes, I agree with you. Kyler Murray does make it interesting. I'm going to want to watch that game at 4:00, where I'd rather watch the game we're going to speak about next normally. But I'm like, yeah, let's see what Kyler Murray's got. It's been a while.
I mean, in general, I like to root for Atlanta because my boy Sunshine roots for them. So also, in general, I root for the Green Lizard. So this is a pick that was hard to make, but if this I thought was value if Kyler's going to play, because I feel like this line will move 3 points in either direction when it's announced.
For sure. And I think this line is indicative that they think Kyler Murray's coming back. I don't think it would only be 1.5 points if he wasn't coming back. I think
Agreed.
And buddy, you can root for Atlanta and Younghoe Koo to hit a field goal to win by 1. This is like a perfect Atlanta spot. Atlanta gets the win because they love kicking game-winning field goals because Koo is awesome. And you win the bet.
Mm-hmm.
A really great game at 4:00. We got Detroit going to Los Angeles to face the Chargers. Al is laying the 2.5 here. Chargers have been playing better as of the last couple of weeks. They've been playing far better on defense than they started off the year. Their offense is always – Keenan Allen's good. Austin Eckler's good. Justin Herbert's good. We talked about that. But are they good? We're going to find out. We're going to find out this game when Detroit comes into town. Detroit, I'm pretty confident, is good. So Al is laying the 2.5 with Detroit.
So the Chargers are weird because, like, their secondary sucks, but then everybody was hurt, and then they could guard the Dolphins receivers. You know, that happened at the beginning of the season. So I just don't know how to feel about that defense. But I know their offense is good when everybody's healthy.
Yeah, and they look healthy. I don't think there's any injuries right now. Mike Williams.
Eckler might be out.
Ooh, that does.
But they have a backup running back who's also very good.
Homer? No,
I don't know his name off the top of my head, but Eckler might be out this game. I believe he's got a Q next to his name.
We'll find out. Austin Eckler takes a lot of hits. 425. This line is hilarious to me, and I had to do it for the sake of the humor. We got the Giants going into Dallas. The Giants are a 16.5-point dog. That's a college football line. That has no business being in the NFL. Especially with like a team that everyone before the year was like, the Giants could make the playoffs. Well, 16.5-point dogs don't normally make the playoffs.
Is Daniel Jones hurt or something?
Yeah, he got re-hurt. What happened to Daniel Jones?
Okay, because that would make this line make more sense if Daniel Jones isn't playing. Although maybe the gamblers hate Daniel Jones so much they want him to play to make this.
He just tore his ACL. His first.
He's out for the year. He's out for the year, right? Okay. I don't like this pick that much right now then. But it's still 16.5 points in the NFL. It's so many points.
The chances are you're gonna be fine. You're gonna
the Cowboys were laying this many points against the Cardinals and they lost.
They did.
So like I just feel like they're probably not going to cover, or they'll win by 50. I don't know, but I'm taking the 16.5.
I'm just doing it for the lulls, right? Minus 16.
You're laying them.
Yeah, I'm laying all 16.5 with Dallas. I don't think this is a great pick. I don't want anyone to think it. It just makes me laugh. 16.5, and I know the Giants have been really bad. And every time they've faced a big spread on the road, they went to Miami. They didn't cover. And that is with Daniel Jones not in as desperate situation as he is right now. So I'm just going to lay it for that, for the humor's sake.
Look, we got a 4-game window going in the second half. I'm going to have 2 teasers that I care a lot about during this window because I know I'm going to have teasers that hit earlier. And I got those Cardinals teased up to 7.5. And I got the Chargers teased up to 8.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give out my teaser picks because I'm not a cheater like Andy.
Yeah.
But
he cheats.
I mean, the teasers only did average last week, but they're going to hit this week. I mean, it was still like winning money, but like it wasn't like they all hit. Anyway, but this I wanted something that was unteased, just like ready, just raw pick during that hour. So I got something on every game.
Hell yeah.
Because like the Washington Seattle game, I got like all my fantasy team is trash, so they all play for Washington and Seattle.
Yeah, we'll go to that in a second. I'm going to bring up one note. You'll hear that I haven't said the word teaser yet once today. And there is not a single teaser on the board here. Spooky season at ChuggieBets when there's not one single teaser.
I think I've shamed everybody into not giving them out.
I honestly, I usually do tease. I don't like any of the numbers this week. Where I'm like, the team could win by 10. They could end up blowing them out.
No, buddy. The Vikings 2.5. You tease that shit.
Well, I'll do it. I'll do it when we're hanging out together or whatever. But I won't do it here. But
No, you have to. First off, you have to tease the Vikings. I mean, I'll give them out right now. You have to tease the Vikings. Tennessee plus 1.5 is a good tease, right? I mean, the Arizona plus 1.5 is a great tease. I'm already taking the 1.5 is what I'm giving out here, and the Chargers plus 2.5 is a great tease.
Chargers could get blown out,
or they could win at home against Detroit, traveling east.
That's what I'm saying. It's a high volatility game. I'm really excited to watch that because it could be really close or both teams could kick the shit out of the other team.
Dude, and I mean, you tease all the wongs.
Yeah.
But those ones specifically you got to do. I don't really love the Raiders teased up to 8 because I feel like the Jets could probably win this game by 10. They could just shut the Raiders out.
We didn't get a chance to play. Are they good with them? But we will next week. Hey, really good. Here's a mindfuck. Washington's going to Seattle, just from a geography lesson. That's a very odd statement to say, but Washington Commanders are going to Seattle Seahawks this weekend. Al and I are laying 6 with Seattle. Seattle at home is really good. I know Washington's been playing better. I don't like Sam Howell. As a college player, I have appreciated his game as an NFL player, and I think he's really good. I do think Seattle's good. I think they're legitimately a good team. So I'm laying 6 here, especially with the 12th man behind them, and Al's with me. And he's probably going to say, that's too many points.
And he's right.
Washington has been really competitive this year, and he's not wrong, right? Washington's been super dynamic on offense. Why Washington is selling defensive linemen like they're going out of style, I do not understand. Because Chase Young and Montez Sweat are really good pieces, and getting rid of them, I
Yeah.
don't. What are your expectations? If you got a second round pick, you would want Chase Young back. It's got to be a salary cap
He's gonna
move.
get paid. So the reason they only got a second round pick is because his contract's up at the end of the year. So like it
Got
was
it.
a second round pick rental for the 49ers.
Got it. And then he'll hit free agency, and they'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But Andy's playing Washington +6. It sounds like you would lean that way. Is that right, Danny?
I would lean the +6 mostly because I'm a Geno Smith owner in fantasy. My quarterbacks in our 2 quarterback league were Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins. So I'm up a creek.
Tough time at the Bierman household for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, all of these 4 o'clock games are really fun to watch, though. A lot of the 1 o'clock games,
Dude, even that Seattle Washington game, like, because you get Howell, who is just he just like makes shit happen on offense. He throws the ball deep, man. He's not one of these. He's not one of these quarterbacks that's going to go out there and go like 25 of 27 for 25 yards. You know?
yeah, no, he is number one amongst quarterbacks, and I don't know what this metric means, but I heard it. Big time throws.
Ooh, I love BTTs,
BTTs. He's leading the NFL with big time throws.
dude.
That's
BTTs.
I love some BTTs. No, he's been
That's a fantasy or not fantasy. PFF. It's a PFF stat.
yeah,
BTTs.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't like him? So I think that's going to be a great game. Atlanta, Arizona, Detroit Chargers, Giants, Cowboys. Turn that shit off. But Commanders and Seahawks. That's a really fun 4 o'clock
Completely
lineup.
disagree with shutting off Giants Cowboys because the Giants are going to be up in that game.
The big ass spread makes it very fun. I'm sorry, like that's like the opposite of an Iowa. Well, that's like the same way I feel about betting Iowa unders. It's
So
such a sexy number. It's so big.
just
Working.
in this Giants Cowboys game, the actual bet to make is what the fuck is the Cowboys quarterback name? Why do I always blank when I'm talking? I'm a
Dak
terrible
Prescott.
podcaster. Dak interception over 1.5. It's gonna be huge plus money, and he's gonna throw 2 in this game.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's got to be a big number. Plus,
It'll
1.5.
probably be like plus 300.
300. Yeah, it's pretty good. Get your prize picks out. Parlay that and some prize picks and get your money. Get your money right. Unless you're in Florida, get that Hard Rock Sportsbook app.
Ooh, Hard Rock's back, dude.
We're
I
ready.
deposited on Monday. It was great.
We can no longer use illegal Latvian gambling sites. We're back, baby. We're gambling legally.
I still
now.
have some bonus points on my illegal Latvian gambling site I have to cash in and use. But
Final game we got Monday night. We got the Jets going into Vegas. Vegas is a 2-point dog, and Andy is laying the 2 with Las Vegas here.
taking.
The line has been the Jets' offensive line has been really bad. I don't think Zach Wilson's been terrible as much as he's just been dying, like he's been getting murdered behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe Aaron Rodgers comes back in a couple weeks. They keep teasing this thing. You keep saying he's going to shock people. It sounds like a kid. These college recruitments or the high school recruitments that go to college and they have a bunch of hats and they do all this dumb dancing and then they just put the hat everyone predicted on. It feels like a lot like that. He's doing all this shit and he'll probably be out for the year. But I don't know. Maybe ayahuasca and shoving a gem up your ass will get that Achilles healed faster than you think.
I think he's going to play. And I think it's because it wasn't as injured as they thought it was, or because there's a new surgery to heal it faster that
That's true.
science now has. One or the other.
Not modern medicine. Not modern medicine. He's not for that.
He's not. Well, it's not that he's. So I don't want to like put words in Aaron Rodgers' mouth. I don't have a relationship with him, and I don't even listen to the McAfee show. But he's not pro-vaccine, and he was kind of right about a lot of the things about the vaccine when he was like skeptical. He was just like right about it in the wrong way. If there's a way to be right in the wrong way,
yeah, he's just the worst. Like, and look, I used to be a big supporter of Aaron Rodgers. I love his game, but he just he seems like a pretentious douche a lot of times. And that's not here nor there. Let's talk about Las Vegas. What would you do in this spot, Dano?
what would I do in this spot? I would lay the 2 by the Jets probably because I just feel like the Jets are probably going to win. I wouldn't even tease the Raiders here. So I don't know what the fuck Andy's thinking.
Was Josh McDaniels that bad? Is that the idea here? Josh McDaniels was such a bad coach that
No,
Antonio.
I think Andy's doing the new coach bump, but that's a soccer thing.
Well, it worked last week. The Raiders went out and stomped, but I still don't think they're good.
It doesn't last for 2 weeks.
I agree. All right, I think we went through the board. Danny, what's your chuggy bet this
We
week?
skipped the Monday night
Oh
game.
shoot, I did. I'm sorry. I thought it was on the other sheet. We got Denver going into Buffalo.
This is kind of interesting. What was the line in this game, bud?
I'll pull it up.
I don't have it pulled up right now, but Josh Allen is going to face a pass rush from Denver where they know how to sack him without getting rushing or roughing the passer calls. So that makes this game a little more interesting. And Russell Wilson's actually been playing pretty well this week. So I lean to laying the 7 with Buffalo, but with Denver's pass rush and the way Russell Wilson's been playing, that's why I didn't give it out. But I would lean towards the 7, but not heavily.
Yeah, Denver isn't as bad, and Russell Wilson's not as bad as everyone was making it out to be. And maybe
last year, not as bad as he was last year. He was bad last year.
Yes, he was. I'm saying this year he's showed improvement. Like his stats are.
Well, he's not. I wouldn't call what Russell Wilson's doing this year improvement. I would say he's regressed to like his mean, which is Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. He's looking like the player Denver expected they would get when they traded for him. Right.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and Sean Payton's probably like heating up. He's probably getting more familiar with the offense there. I agree with you. Like, it doesn't look like the sexy game on paper considering the 7 number. I mean, this looks like a good teasing spot. What are we kidding? Take Buffalo down to 1, right? That's probably the move here.
I like Buffalo at 1 at home. That's actually a pretty good move there. Tease the 7 down to 1. I don't hate that at all.
I'd kind of lean the under here. I don't know if that's a weird play because both offenses have looked good. But
under is a weird play on Monday night, depending on what the number is.
47.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate the under on that's a high number, and
720 is what they're expecting the game to end. I guess that would be my guess, right? Looking at all the numbers.
And this is just a gut that Monday night games go high, but I feel like most people bet overs, but that trend has changed because now more people are betting unders because they know that unders hit more often, slightly, and the amount that unders hit more often is like 0.05% or whatever, right? It's like
it's at the margin. It only matters if you bet 100 times.
You're losing the vig if you bet all unders, right? You're losing money, but yeah, Monday night I feel like is more likely to go over just in general for big offenses, and both of these teams have fairly big offenses.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. That's a surprising fun game. That looked like one of those ones you wish they would flex out. They could flex out Monday night, but no, I could be in for that.
No, I'm not gonna. They wouldn't flex this out. You got like the cool. I want to have a beer with him quarterback versus the cornball. Get him the fuck out of here, quarterback. This is like the perfect matchup.
No, I'm saying as far as like not competitive games, right? Like
it's storylines, man. They care more about storylines than like competition.
Jason Kelsey's the sexiest man in America. We've made it. That's a good storyline. I'm in.
It sure is.
Danny, what's your chuggy bet, buddy?
Ooh, I think I want to go.
Yeah, under 40.5 Thursday night.
Can I? Is it too?
I don't even see the game. I don't see.
I only have 4 picks here, and you already stole the under 39.
Thank you, buddy.
I think I'm just gonna do this. That's my favorite bet, man.
All right. So you are taking
Tennessee Tampa Bay under 39. That's my favorite one.
Tennessee Tampa Bay under 39 is a good one.
Make Andy's Houston +7.
Okay, I will. Andy is going Houston +7.
Make Al's Houston +7 also. Because
make Al's Detroit.
Al's Detroit. Yeah, that's better.
Al will do Detroit laying this 2.5
and Chris didn't give any picks, so give him
Atlanta laying 1.5.
I was gonna say Jacksonville, San Francisco draw, but sure, Atlanta laying 1.5 is also good.
I am doing the
Or
draws.
any game draws. Any game
Well,
draws.
both teams to score, yes.
Oh no, any game both teams to score no should be his chuggy bet.
I'm gonna lay the 3 with Pittsburgh for my chuggy bet.
Oh, I thought you were doing under 39.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you have it. It's all yours, bud.
We could share. We could share.
We're sharing the pick. We're sharing the pick.
We're swingers here at Chuggy Bets.
Ooh, yeah, hell yeah, we are. Wait till you see us in our Biff Poggi t-shirts. Danny wasn't here. I'll fill him in for that one. But thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell your mom. She'll love it. And good night, Kent.
Good night, Joey. Good night, Matt.
Oh, Danny, I owe you a chuggy bet. You owe me a chuggy bet. Let's do that. Cheers.
Chug your beer, Matto.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, no. How do I end recording? Oh.